It's Week 5 of the National Football League, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Giants and the Seahawks coming up next.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field, seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Seahawks set to go on offense here, and it is the Pro Bowler Geno Smith at quarterback, Charles, in his 12th NFL season.
And Smith continues to show that his career resurgence hasn't been some fluke. He's brought a level of maturity, stability, and good play that allows him to compete with any team on any given week. The real question is whether or not he can become a championship caliber quarterback. Only time will tell, but for now, he's done enough to give this franchise reason to believe they can certainly get the job done.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Throwing now is Geno. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now Geno. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense ready to go to work, and they'll do so behind Daniel Jones in his 6th season now out of Duke.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. And that sack, it goes to Boye Mafe.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Jones. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Throwing Jones. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Ooh, with a juke. A 44-yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
He'll get that to Charbonnet.
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And that's good for a Seahawks.
Smith. That's complete to DK Metcalf. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 50-yard line.
On the give, here's Charbonnet.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Geno now to throw. And that is incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. And his throw is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Singletary here running out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
You talk about this Seahawk defense.
It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Good footwork at the 30. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10.
Right at the 30.
And they'll start on the ground with Charbonnet.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 23 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. A yard all they need, but it's third down.
Smith now to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Seahawks had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season, and they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset, being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get into.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. He got 29 yards that time.
Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his one-on-two matchup.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This ball caught by McIntosh.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Jason Myers for the Seahawks field goal. A 39-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The New York set to take the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Jones now off the bootleg. Johnson's got it complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. 22 yards there, a first down.
And Johnson is one of those players that I expect to get better and better during his time in the NFL. Long and rangy, a really good catch radius. In his pre-draft process, one of the best ones out of the tight ends.
They'll run on first down with Singletary.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
12 more yards there and another first down.
And Singletary has found a new home with the Giants after successful stints in Buffalo and Houston. He's coming off of 3 consecutive seasons where he produced over 1,000 yards from scrimmage, and New York is hoping that trend continues.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. They go right back to Singletary. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Here's Jones. Off play action.
Crossing route catch made by Johnson.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. They run here with Singletary. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On second and goal, Jones, and he's got it. Touchdown, Giants.
Malik Neighbors
with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Giants are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Out of the gun, a give to Charbonnet.
And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
Brings up second down at the 8-yard line.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he goes down, and it's in the end zone. Smith goes down in that end zone. That is a safety. And you don't want to pin this all on the quarterback, even when the pressure's coming. Not easy for them, but that's just something you can't do is take that sack in the end zone.
No, you can't. But for all defensive line coaches, they're celebrating everywhere. Because what do they tell us in our meetings? It's all about the get-off, beating the offensive line at the snap of the football.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This is taken at the 15. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Singletary trying the left side. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Remember, they had the safety go against them the last time they had it. Fortunately, their defense just forced the punt, so they'll try again as they start 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
And now a handoff to Charbonnet. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Singletary to get the drive started. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. A give up the middle to Singletary. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Jones. That's complete. It's Neighbors. Now we've got a giant player here slow to get up after that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. That is caught. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Again, it's Johnson.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 13 at the 34-yard line.
They'll run out of the gun with Singletary.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. He'll find Hodgins there, complete.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up second down.
On the handoff, it's Singletary.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Back to throw. Jones. Did he get the feet down? Yes. Touchdown.
Wan'Dale Robinson.
His first touchdown on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There are so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead now stands at 13.
Seahawks 3.
A 10-play drive that time.
And it was finished up by a touchdown catch from Wan'Dale Robinson. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, let's give some credit to the defense. They did a nice job there as they flushed him to his right. But he is able to buy some time, extend the play, and turned it into a short gain.
And they'll run on 3rd down with Charbonnet.
That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Now is 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Play action. It's Smith. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Finding Smith and Jigba downfield. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's the give to McIntosh. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 11-yard line.
Off of play action, here's Smith. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Lockett, the motion man, right. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are back within a score. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And it's up. This is good, and it makes it a 16-10 game now. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Well, let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
At the 36-yard line.
On the give, this is Singletary. Shedding the tackle, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. They hand off to their big tight end. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts.
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
Returnable for Lockett. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watch the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate.
There he goes, left side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
DK Metcalf,
67 yards.
And the Seahawks strike quickly here to tie up the ball game.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
To throw again on second down, Jones.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Jamie Gillen now on to punt.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. Call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Back to throw, Smith. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down, now it's 2nd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes, back at the 8-yard line.
Kayvon Thibodeau
able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing just about on his own goal line. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. John Wolford, a touchdown pass in the victory. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Jonathan Brooks, over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Trevor Lawrence, terrific in the victory, as his guys upped their mark to 4-1 now. It was the former comeback player of the year, Geno Smith, who was sharp in the first half. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Giants offense and running back Devin Singletary headed back onto the field. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it second down.
Here's Singletary, and he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Now it's Lockett.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
The Seahawks offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Throwing is Smith. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
At the 28-yard line.
Throwing now is Geno.
This is Fant on the short completion.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Here's 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Now Geno.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Here's Smith. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense.
And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
On the counter, this is Singletary. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Throwing Jones. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the 1st down.
Singletary here running out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
65 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
He gets this one to Johnson. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. That's complete to Robinson.
And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Now Jones. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
2nd down and goal. Jones. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Wan'Dale Robinson, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw again. And that will be incomplete as well. Unsuccessful pass on 3rd down, but at least you got 3 points here in your hip pocket.
Yeah, and I would take it from my hip pocket and put it right on the shoe of my kicker and go get those 3 points. This isn't even a discussion to me. This is a chance to take the lead after a good drive. Do it.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
33-yard line. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Now Smith. And that's going to be caught downfield by Fant. Look at the big fella go. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, 67 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is up to 5. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Another pass complete to Bellinger. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
They'll run here with Singletary. And he's got Rome. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 85 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Left side, he's got Robinson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They'll toss this right side to Singletary. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's at the cornerback position.
Yeah, this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's 3rd down.
Operating from the gun, Jones. This is caught.
Yeah, the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Singletary will take this one in. Touchdown, New York.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Jones and that Giant offense looks like they're going to stay right there and go for 2.
The Giants will line up.
They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Seahawks offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
At the 36-yard line.
Again, it's Charbonnet. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5.
The Giants offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. On 1st down, they'll start out with Singletary. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37.
They'll begin here with a run with Charbonnet. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
That's taken on the 25. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see. In other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
102 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Right back to Singletary on 2nd down.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Tyrell Dodson, the one to bring him down. 2nd and 9.
Singletary again. Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Jones.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Jones throwing on fourth down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on fourth, but come up empty. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on fourth down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Open man is Barner, the tight end.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 39-yard line.
They'll fake it. Now Smith.
They'll get that to Charbonnet.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A field goal from this spot would be 51 yards. They'll try to move it closer on third down.
On the give, here's Charbonnet.
And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Smith. His throw incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteeing he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
From the gun on third down, Smith.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Incomplete. Sets up 4th down.
So on now comes the kicker. It's Jason Myers. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. Myers' kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. They go right back to Singletary. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Off play action. Jones. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete.
And he will have a Giants first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And his throw here's incomplete. Johnson the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
A handoff on the option to Singletary. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Looking to throw. Jones. And that will be incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. Kayvon Thibodeau getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
And from the gun, here's a handoff to Charbonnet.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. An 8-yard gain, so that gets him halfway there. Now they're left with a third and 8 more.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
Here's Smith.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. Tie game in the fourth quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Out of the gun, a give to Charbonnet.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. They'll set up a screen to Charbonnet.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Flushed out right.
And Smith able to move the chains before sliding down.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th.
Smith to throw. So the road a little tougher here. Now 1st and 20. Here's Smith. He's across midfield.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal blocking the back. Offense.
Here's 1st down. An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
This is 1st and 10.
Singletary to get the drive started. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down.
Jerome Baker in on the tackle.
Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the first crack here in overtime goes to the New York Giants as we are back underway. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
The New York set to take the field.
Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
145 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. Right back to Singletary on second down.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Back to throw. Jones. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, second down. Looking to throw. Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
So for the Giants, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.